right, hello class. Welcome to the first of my quick lessons. Let me just set the timer here so I know how long it's taking. This first one will be on the CSS Box Model. I gave you a handout for that quite a while back. We're finally getting around to talking about it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and then you can take a look at all of this stuff that I've got up here. So what I've got here on the left is I've got the handout that I gave you guys, the CSS Box Model. And what it does is it clearly shows the various parts of the box, which are the margin, the border, the padding, and the content. We've been talking about this a little bit in class, but what I'd like to do now is to give you a specific demonstration of how you can make use of these things. Basically, the way HTML works is every single element on the page, every paragraph, every image, etc., they all have a box that's around them, essentially, within that can be manipulated with the CSS. You can change things like the width, the height, the display in terms of what type of display it is, the margins on all four sides, the padding on all four sides, and you can also change the border and the background color. You can even put a background image in there if you wanted to, as well as text. But the main thing is, the thing to remember is that each element has a box around it, and you can manipulate essentially these three things: the margin, the border, the padding, and then the element itself is the content. So I've given you an example here on the right-hand side based on the code that I've set up here. I've given it a width. In this case, it can be a percentage or a pixel number. You can give it a specific height as well. Here I've given it 200 pixels. The display is set up for block. It's a good idea to put this in there just to make sure it displays correctly in older browsers. This margin is set up for 4 different areas: the top, the right, the bottom, and the left. And each of those can have its own value. So this is a margin, as you see over here in the diagram. It's outside the border. The margin actually is outside the border. So you could set any of those up to any number you want, or set them to 0 if you'd like, or actually if you leave it blank, it will be 0. You can also use padding. Padding is essentially, as you can see, between the content and the border. So we've got padding on the top, the bottom, the left, or the right. And again, each of those can be set up to a particular pixel number if you'd like. Now, to set up the border, we did talk about this in class a little bit. It's essentially got a size, a type. In this case, it's 5 pixels and solid, and a color. In this case, it's set up for black. You can also have a background color in your text box, and that can be set up for any hexadecimal number or keyword name if you'd like. Just be aware that you can manipulate any of these things and then put whatever content you like in there. So what I'll do is I will put this particular HTML file up on Blackboard so that you can actually make use of it if you want to. You can copy and paste this and use any of these particular elements that you want. All right, so this is the correct code for the CSS for a background image. So if you would like to include an image, then just make sure that this code right here is to the actual path of the image itself, and then your image will show up. So if I go over here, I should be able to reset and see there's the image that's in the background there. This happens to be an image I had in my folder. So that's the basics of the CSS box model. Be aware that this, whatever class style you set up for this can be applied to an image, it could be applied to a block of text, anything that you like. And all of these characteristics will then apply to it. And you'll be able to make use of the box model for pretty much anything on the page. There are more things that you can use with this, including things like rounded corners, also layers, which gets really complicated, but we will talk about that when we get to using Dreamweaver, because it's a lot easier in Dreamweaver. So that's it for now. Again, I'll put this onto Blackboard, this HTML file, along with the CSS box model and the recording, and enjoy using the box model.